Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. I've got Scott on the stream, so hope you are well.
Yes, mate. I'm good, Dan. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Well, it's Wolves away tomorrow. It's another be a good game that we all know that it will be. How do you think you're going into it?
Yeah, it's another one of those away games where you think this is probably one where we've got to get something out of it. They're obviously struggling a bit, in a bit of a they're in a bit of a free fall, aren't they?
Mm.
After their start to the season with their manager, obviously they've sacked him, so um, still haven't got a manager. So it kind of feels like it's a good opportunity. I was kind of hoping that they won't have somebody in place for tomorrow. It doesn't look to be the case. So it's always that worry, the new manager bounce, that we tend to be on the back of them quite a few times. So yeah, I think we've got to go for it. I think tomorrow, see if we can at least pick up a point, don't lose. But I think it's potentially a winnable game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously we signed Gibbs White and Bodie from them as well, and the reception that Gibbs White will be interesting. To say the least, especially after him starting for them this season in their first couple of games.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what reception he gets. I mean, when we signed him, there was some well wishes from Wolves fans, and then it was a bit of a mixed bag. So I'd expect there'd be a few boos
Mm.
tomorrow, if I'm honest, given that, Wolves are an established Premier League team. So I think for him to come to Forest was a bit of a coup, really.
Mm. Definitely. Could agree more. I mean, we were just saying before we're doing the video about how the fan base is at the minute. That I done a video with a Wolves fan. It's on the channel, and he thinks he's very up and down about the game. That if we score the first goal, think that the fan base might turn where if they don't want to it might be different.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing with Forest, really, that if they go goal down, it looks a mountain to climb, even though they're going, a goal down, just because the way they've crumbled. But yeah, it does seem that way tomorrow. That if we can settle the crowd down and we can get an early goal, then that might be a real catalyst to try and build on. And if they turn on their own players, then we've got to try and exploit that. That's bottom line, isn't it? Really,
Mm.
we've got to try and exploit that and see if we can go at them early and see if we can nick an early goal, and then it might go back to the shape that served us pretty well on Monday night. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, same. I mean, do you think going on to the next question? Do you think we will keep to that formation that we have been playing with the 4-3-3?
Yeah, I would think that he would. There's no reason not to, but I don't know. If I was Cooper, I'd probably thinking, well, let's have a bit of a go first 10, 15 minutes and see if we can get it. I would still expect it to be the same shape, but
Mm.
maybe just see if we're a bit more, maybe a little bit more dynamic on the break, and yeah, and see if we can, even if it's forcing corners, getting a free kick, because Morgan Gibbs White, his delivery has been pretty good so far this season. So I think just to create that early bit of pressure, can we nick one? And then, yeah, they played well. They were good with that shape. They were really organised, I thought, on Monday, even though there was quality lacking on the ball, but couldn't fault the way they were organised themselves, and they were all individually taking that responsibility of doing their job, and I think that was the bit that kind of shone through, really, that yeah, there was dedication to the cause, even though it's not the way that Steve Cooper wants to play.
Mm. That's the thing, and now we've stopped the water. Now we think if a win tomorrow might be like that confidence boost. Would be like, yeah, defensively we sorted ourselves out. Um, but now we can start to get back to Cooper ball, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I suppose we can't get too carried away, but there's almost like mini leagues, isn't there, in the Premier League, and Wolves are part of that mini league at the moment of games that these teams around you. You think actually we can beat those, and at this point in time, they're a team that we can beat. So I'm not bothered how we win. Don't care who. If it comes off somebody's backside, it's an own goal. It doesn't matter at the minute because we haven't had a win since what, opening day.
West Ham. Well, Grimsby can't Grimsby.
So it's what, 2 months ago, pretty much. So
Yeah.
yeah, we do a good result, overdo a win. So it'd be amazing if we can do that tomorrow because it will put that spring spring in the step massively. With the fan base for sure. If and the players.
Oh, definitely. I couldn't agree more on that. Um, I mean, would you keep that same level as Monday as well? Or would you?
I don't think there's any reason to change it. To be honest, I
Mm,
mean, I don't know what the situation is with Mangala because I think he did look our best player, but whether they're just being gentle with him, they're kind of going to build him, they're not rushing him back. Maybe
mm,
that's the situation. But Kiyate, what is he, 32? But he's pretty much had a full week, hasn't he? I mean, I know we won't class it as a midweek game, so he's had a full week training, and
mm,
I think that will probably be the only change that I'd look to make,
mm.
maybe. But across, I wouldn't change any of it. Toffolo, I keep. Aurier, I keep. But I don't know whether he had a bit of a knock. That's why he came off. I'm not sure, but it's almost like he had the longest piece of injury tape round his leg when he was wrapping it off coming on the pitch. It was like a magician's trick. I thought, I wonder what
Yeah,
else he's going to pull out of his shorts.
could be anything. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, hopefully people can go back to being that Peter Rabbit with the team, bar just making that change here now and again. And I mean, they got players that can hurt us like Costa and Pondance and Neves, who's obviously goes into the football for scoring that goal against Derby.
Yeah, well, they'll know. I think similar to the Leicester game, that they'll know full well that if they're on their game tomorrow and they're 100%, then the chances are they'll beat us. So it pretty much is it's all on Wolves in many respects because we still we haven't quite clicked yet. It'd be amazing if we could play at those levels, but I still think there's a lot more to come from Forest yet as the team grow. So that's the danger. But hopefully, having had the fingers burnt badly at Leicester, then that won't happen again. That they can't afford to play like that and give any team in the Premier League time to take the game and control the game. Forest, we're going to struggle playing that way. So we'll see.
Mm, couldn't agree more. You got any score prediction for tomorrow or Saturday? Sorry,
Uh,
Saturday.
I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1 Forest.
I take that. I think not an ugly win. Well, an ugly win, but just get the job done and then build on it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm going to go for getting two ahead and then conceding a bit of a nervy finish and hold on. There we are.
I take that to be fair. You want to talk about your socials?
Yeah, you can follow me on Munich and Madrid on Twitter.
So yeah, I'd like to say thank you for for coming on.
No worries, Dan. Anytime, mate.
So I'd like to say thank you guys. Do follow me and Madrid on Twitter. Do hit the subscribe on the channel. I'd like to say thank you and goodbye.